Oh, Eric, man, that was we just got done watching there the Dancing in the Stars from Neckscars out of New York. What do you think of that video?
That was rad, man. Great sound. Yeah, totally dig it. Sounds like a band I would have band that I'm into, or the sound that I'm into, band that I would have played with back in the day when I was gallivanting around the greater United States and, making stops up into Ontario and whatnot. So yeah.
Well, that's from their upcoming release coming out August 1st called Unhinged.
Okay.
So, but what's even better than that?
What's that?
We have the guys from Neckscars with us right now.
Holy shit. Let's get them in.
Well, here's Justin.
Oh, hey.
Here's Colin.
Justin!
What up?
Can't forget Will. What's going on, guys?
Here's a story of a podcast name. You got it. That was awesome, man.
Yeah. I think this is the most I've had in one room at one time. Like this, I guess you could say.
That's
won't
what
talk
she
about my
said.
personal life. Ew. So, what's going on, gentlemen? What's new in your neck of the woods?
Same old crap here. Working, trying to promote this record.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
talk about
we got some rainy weather, some trees
yeah.
down, some thunder.
Wait,
Also,
really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, I got some thunder. You might hear it at some point.
yeah. We've got decent weather up here in Buffalo. So, I mean, other than it being hotter than it should be.
Yeah.
But I'm new to the town. I'm new to New York, so just moved up here last October or August. So I'm happy to be out of the South, out of Tennessee, and that crazy humidity and crazy other stuff. But yeah, buddy Russ is still down there.
Have you guys heard of this hurricane coming into Florida called Hurricane Flossie?
No.
Yeah, I'm like, when do they're coming up with like gangster names and stuff like?
Oh,
Nice.
they went through all the normal names already. Now they have to start making up some other stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So Flossie. So whatever, but so let's talk about this record. You guys have a new album coming out August 1st called Unhinged. Let's talk about it. So when did you guys start writing and recording this record?
Ooh, that's a good question. We actually started writing it last year.
Yeah, more or less. There was a couple of songs that were floating in the ether in 2023, but I think we really started going for it in 2024.
Yeah, we went up to a mountain house, like a music retreat house in Ithaca, New York, and we spent 4 days putting these songs together and doing some like live demos. So it was very much a different process than normally, and we all brought like ideas to the table. So it's kind of like the three of us, contributing to songwriting. So it sounds different than Don't Panic, and we kind of had no rules, which I loved. And we spent 4 days and like really connected on like the structure of everything. And we took it back home and got it ready so we can get to Nada Recording Studios to track the whole thing. And when did we do that?
That was January of 2024, and it was a 4-day thing. And the craziest part about it is that we had some ideas going into the weekend, but there were some ideas that we hadn't even shown each other, and we worked on them in the room like 8-9 hours a day and figured it all out, put it all together. And they were more or less completely written, structure wise by the time we left.
So you said January 2024. Wow, that was almost a year and a half ago, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, the way it works for us in terms of recording is, we get in for long weekends when we can. We usually do like, I don't know,
Thursday through Sunday or something.
Thursday, yeah, like 3 different weekends of 12 hours straight, and just trying to get as much done in that time as possible. And we're usually pretty efficient. So we had 3 weekends like that, starting from June until September, and then that's when we finish everything off.
Yeah, John's usually pretty booked out at Nada, so we had to like prepare for that too. So we had to book like 6 months in advance to get in there. And you guys probably know Sean Paul Pilsworth, right? He was in a band on Paper and Plastic called Nightmares for a Week. He worked on he did a lot of he did the mixing and engineering. We spent more time with him on the weekends and stuff, since we were doing it on the weekends. Weren't really, I don't it's hard to do a record these days. I feel like back in the day you spent 10 days in the studio and it was done.
Yeah.
And now everybody's just like, I'll book these couple weekends and get it done. And with the way it seems to work out for 40 in a punk rock band.
Yeah. Oh yeah, especially the older we get, right?
Yeah.
Whenever we can get in there.
Yeah, getting everybody's schedule to align with each other's. I'm sure that was that's always a continual struggle. Yeah, for sure.
John has still has the same prices from the 90s, so Yeah,
That's
everyone's trying
badass.
to get it.
Well,
So,
that's friends and family. You got to know the guy for like 25 years.
Yeah. We were fortunate when I was in Blacklist Royals. I was fortunate we got to work with Matt Drastic, aka Matt Yonker, at Drastic Sounds there in Nashville, and he was, very, I guess you could say reasonably priced to his buds. So yeah.
The bro rates. Yeah, I got a picture of John that I can't show anybody. So that rate
Yeah, he holds it over his head like it's I don't know. I was going to make a bad joke. I won't do it. There's enough blackmail going around in the world. We don't have to dive back into it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
you weren't going to make a bad joke. You were going to make a dad joke. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's what
no.
you
It was going to be dark, and it was going to be unlike me. And I was like, you know what? This isn't the time for that.
Well, it's early in the episode. We still have time for that joke, I'm sure. So
It's coming.
I'll remember it.
yeah, for sure.
So when did you guys finally finish mixing and mastering and getting all that work done?
October.
February. Well, no,
February.
Mastering was February this past year.
Okay.
Octobuary.
Yeah.
October.
Well, October for mixing, mastering February. Yeah, it was like another. Well, there was a lot of extra mixing going on at the end there too that we needed to make sure everything.
Yeah, the master
so-
was February 7th.
No, we weren't even. Yeah. Good.
Now, I listened to "Don't Panic," and it's like it's a good record, man. And
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
really enjoyed it. And then I got sent over some of the tracks from this new one, and I'm really this new one's going to be a man. People are going to be pleased when I hear this new album. I can't wait to actually be able to. Because I was losing on SoundCloud and my phone kept stopping it every time my screen shut. I'm sure it's a feature on the app. I just got to fix it. But I was like, I'd be just jamming out, and then all of a sudden it stopped. I had to pull my phone back out, press play again. But for the most part, I was able to get what I needed out of it, and I really enjoyed what I heard off the new record. So good job on that, guys.
Thanks,
Sick.
man.
We'll send you the waves after the interview.
Not this kind.
Yeah,
Oh,
my dad- that was my dad.
Lots of ways.
That's my dad joke.
Not waves.
Woo!
And then we'll go surfing too. So
Yeah,
There's your dad
I
joke.
went to a water park over the weekend near in Fishkill, New York, over here, and it's called Splashdown. When I was growing up, there was 2 slides, and now it's like a full bore like wave pool, like all these crazy rides, and it was pretty sick.
it got bigger. Wow. That's
It's so much bigger, and yeah, I took an edible on the way there. And
Nice.
Make it all better.
Yeah,
and then they were selling beers, but the beers are like strategically like for the water park. Like they had the Kona Big Wave.
Oh,
So
all right.
that's what
Mahalo.
you're drinking. Yeah, so that's what you're drinking.
I'm just picturing you and a bunch of 10-year-old children, and you're just high as shit going down these slides.
We're gonna hang out next weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, he's that guy. He was that creepy guy.
Let me ask you a question though. Were these beers concert prices?
Oh, yeah, they were like $10 beers. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's why like the edible helps. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Makes everything. Hey, and it lasts a lot longer too.
Absolutely. So it was a good time.
Hey, Eric, were you able to listen to any of the stuff on Spotify? Because they have a great cover. They have a great cover of a song by Blink 182.
Oh yeah.
Song.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, it's like I heard the Op Ivy song and then the Blink cover. Yeah, those were great, man. And you made them your own too. I mean, it wasn't just like a carbon copy cover, which I love when bands they do a cover, make it their own. Yep. Sounds like that band, not that band playing somebody else's song the same way. So
It's the only way to do covers.
Yeah, for sure. One of the first bands that I was in when I was like 18, this is back in like the 90s. We did a cover of When Doves Cry by Prince.
Awesome.
Yeah, you really didn't know what the fuck we were playing until our lead singer went into the dig, if you will, a picture, and then everybody just lost their shit because they're like scratching their tempo. They're like, I think I know what song this is, but yeah. Unfortunately, we never got to record it, and it was just live at the warehouse in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we'll have to cover it and then shout you out.
Yeah. Do it.
Prince is good in my book.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. Russ is like you peel his skin back and it's purple. Dude is a huge Prince fan. Yeah,
it is true. True.
Amazing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we dig doing the covers. We kind of we have a skeleton before we go into the studio, and then when we get in there, we just kind of get weird with it. Just no rules. Everything's on the table. So
yeah, for sure.
What's funny, I don't know why we do this, but we have at least 2 songs where we kind of leaned into the reggae ska kind of feel, and we don't really do that on any of the songs that we actually write. So it's like, it's funny when we do covers. So we're just like, all right, let's be this band right now for a second. It still ends up sounding like us, like you said.
Yeah,
for sure.
You gotta try that with a Bad Brain song.
Dude, that would be sick. Yes.
So how long have you guys known each other for?
Long time.
Well, I've known Justin since we were 14. We're gonna be 40 this year. I think I met Will when I was 17 or so, and then didn't see him for a bunch of years. But I've had the pleasure or displeasure of knowing Justin the entirety of this time. So
in 2012 I connected with Justin at Fest, and we were like looking for a guitar player with my old band, and then he came to the house to party the following week, and I've known him since. But we go way back with each other. We used to play with his old band, Social Standards, when we were younger, up in the Hudson Valley.
So have you guys, are you guys New Yorkers? Are you guys all from New York? All the bands that you've been in, New York bands?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay, right on.
Will's from the Bronx. I'm from Westchester. Justin's from Putnam County, and it's basically suburbs of New York City right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. So how did you guys find out about Fest, and like what took you down? What was what was the first fest that you guys played, and what was the first fest you probably you remember going to?
So I went to Fest 12, and that's when Will was playing with Game Day regulars down there. Was that your first fest, Will? No, you guys played the year before that.
Yeah, the year before that too. That was the first lineup. There was always lineups. Different lineups.
Yeah. So I met Will for the Fest 12, whatever year that was, and then we put out an album, and then we played Fest 14 as Game Day, and that's when Colin joined the band. So that was our first fest playing together.
Okay.
And then we didn't go back until we started the new band. And then did we get on the year of Don't Panic? I think we did. 2021? Is that
2021. That sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. Nice.
You guys are playing this year too, right?
We are.
Yeah.
I will see you there.
Nice.
Ah, sick.
Yeah. I want to say the last fest that I played with my band LTD, Lonesome Town Drifters. We did the first one we did Fest 15, and then we did Fest 17, because you know how Tony is. Tony's like, you get to play every other year,
Yeah.
And then we were supposed to do the year that COVID hit. And then, so we ended up doing, I guess that was Fest 19. And then shortly after that Fest 19 is when LTD broke up. COVID pretty much killed that band. And it was just me and our other lead singer. And we had 2 guys filling in on bass and drums. But I became good friends with Tony through Blacklist Royals. Because I want to say he put us on Fest 7 was the first fest that we played.
Nice.
And that's when, university was the happening spot. There was no such thing as Bo Diddley.
Yeah.
Everything was in the frickin' the Florida theater, the Gainesville
Yeah.
theater.
Yeah.
Dude, going to shows there, you always wanted to see the big bands, but you would go in at 1 o'clock, and then you didn't end up leaving until 9. So it was like the sun was out when you walked in, and then the sun was fucking gone by the time you walked out of that joint. But
and everybody was smoking inside.
Yeah, dude, and the
It's
pisser was
gross.
horrible. Yeah,
Gross.
just everything about the Florida theater sucked. Now, the fact that Tony's got Bo Diddley Plaza now is just such a game changer.
It's beautiful. It's sick.
Huge fan. For sure.
It's grown quite a bit over the years.
Yeah, but totally stoked to see you guys this year for sure. Sucks that Propaganda had to drop off, but we all get it.
Yeah.
They didn't. I don't know. I don't know if that was actually a thing. Did somebody take the spot?
Was Get Up Kids on before it?
No. Get Up Kids were
they were the replacement. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's gonna be sick.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. My fingers were crossed that Face to Face was finally going to do it, but I guess
I was thinking maybe RKL would be a good.
You
know what I mean?
Lawrence Arms, that would be great to have Larry back, playing Larry Arms playing again. But yeah,
is it true that Face to Face has done how many farewell tours, more than Kiss?
No,
not more than Bane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow. You went there.
No. I think Face to Face only did the one farewell tour. Yeah. When Pete was still playing, they did it as 3-piece. I drove down to Atlanta and cried because they played Pastel.
All for nothing.
All for nothing. Yeah. It was
that's
my friends were all,
Yeah. This is it. This is the last time.
This is the last time I see him.
Did you see Matt Riddle's playing with them again?
Oh, dude, that's so fucking sick.
Yeah.
Funny story about meeting Matt Riddle. And then I'll stop talking. I think it was Warped Tour. No Use for a Name was on Warped Tour. So this was probably
2002.
Yeah, I think so. In and around. I was up in Chicago visiting my brother because he was stationed up there in Waukegan, and No Use was on the Warped Tour. So I walk over to the merch table. And I see Matt Riddle, and I totally fanboy out, and I walk over to him and grab a shirt, and I'm just like, "Hey, man, I just want to let you know you played on one of my favorite records of all time." And he's, probably thinking it's a No Use, album, and he's like, "Oh yeah, which one is that?" I was like, "Big Choice." Yeah. And he was like, "Get the fuck out of here." It was because you listen to the interviews and they absolutely hate that record. But I mean, that was the first time I saw him. Bosstones brought him through Nashville on that tour. And I fell in love with Face to Face from, that moment on. But they all hate, the sound of that record. But I still think it's by far one of my favorite Face to Face records of all time, for sure.
100%. That record was really special for me. My band used to cover that in high school, and I don't know. That was Face to Face was my first band that, beside Green Day, ever made me want to be in a band.
Yeah,
you guys toured with them. You guys toured with them, right?
We did when I quit.
Oh, I saw that. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, I had left the band because it wasn't fun anymore. And the first fucking tour that they get after I leave the band was Bottle Rocket and Face to Face. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But in my defense, what is it? 2 Chords and a Half Truth or 3 Chords and a Half Truth. That was the album that they were touring on. And I don't really like that record. I like Ignorance is Bliss better than that one, which is saying a lot for a Face to Face fan. But yeah. So yeah, I didn't get to.
I don't even have that one on vinyl, and I got them all.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need that record.
Yeah. Well, that one they were specifically trying to do a Clash thing. And
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, that
Didn't
first
sound very
song is
good.
dan 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 dan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and Trevor moved to Nashville, and got that Nashville vibe, and I
They
love
always
them.
come back. They always come back. They always make up for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean,
Like,
yeah, this last record that they put out, fuck, man, I think it's great. But
yeah, I think
Agreed.
Protection too is like top tier.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, Shiflet on bass is just unfair for bass players.
Sure is. Especially
yeah.
when he goes on tour with other bands, just ripping solos on guitar. Like
yeah,
it's
on
nothing.
guitar, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
sick.
yeah.
It's
He's like
absurd.
he's like better than his brother in the Foo Fighters.
Right.
No, Chris Shiflett on his podcast. Like, yeah, my brothers are way better
Yeah.
at guitar than I am.
Oh, totally. He'll admit it every time.
Yeah, I
He's like,
think
yeah.
rumor has it is Shiflet is going to play drums for Foo Fighters now. So he's
Yeah.
going to move from guitar with Queens
Yeah.
to drums for Foo Fighters. So yeah.
He's just good at everything.
Poor Josh Freese, man. I wonder what the
Oh,
story
yeah.
is there.
No joke, man. Yeah.
So
But,
weird.
yeah. I mean, he's doing all right. He plays
he's
with
fine.
Sting, dude. I mean, he plays.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
back with the Vandals. So fuck it.
Yeah. He played with the Vandals. Yeah. I got to see him with A Perfect Circle
Nice.
right before my wife and I moved up here to Buffalo, and that was unreal.
I
Because
bet.
dude's he's such a
What
machine.
hasn't he played on? You know what I'm saying? It's like you throw a fucking dart and you'll hit a band, and he's played with them. You know?
Yeah, he's like the Kevin Bacon of bands. You know,
Yeah,
He's
right.
like-
Absolutely.
That's how you know that it must have been some sort of personal thing. There must have been a feud of some sort, and they were just like, "Nah, you're out."
yeah. Who knows, man? Yeah, but good luck to him. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't wait for the next Foo Fighters record. I mean, I've always been a fan.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
did you hear the cover, the Minor Threat cover that was recorded 30 years ago?
Yeah.
And then Dave Grohl just put the vocals on it this year. So it was like a 30-year song. It was like the drums or the music was recorded in 95, and then he put the vocals on it this year, and then
Yeah.
they just dropped it yesterday.
It's crazy.
Which song was it? I didn't hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to
Yeah.
Was it? I didn't
Yeah.
hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I didn't hear it yet.
put it.
maybe Justin, you just really don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to hear it. Oh yeah. Well, he was like a DC dude, so it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Dirty Nil did a filler on a cover on a comp that's like bitching.
Nice.
One of Pure Noise Records like cover comps or something. I was like, damn. I mean, that band's so cool, but like, I was like, they really did a great job on that. I was like, very impressed.
So are you guys touring down to Fest, or is it just going to be like one of those fly in and?
Yeah, we did that once or twice. I think it was just once, and that might have been in game day. Yeah, the fly-in is it just makes sense for the most part. We'll get in on a Thursday, get out on a Monday, and just kind of
Nice. Get to enjoy Fest. Yeah. Like both playing Fest and just going as a fester. I mean, it's great either way.
It's got to be that combo of like having enough days where you don't have to worry about being the most hungover you've ever been in your life. So
yeah. It's all about pacing yourself that first day, man. Just like the Jello shots at the high dive. How many should I take? And then the next thing you know, you feel like shit all day Saturday.
Yep. And we are playing Saturday, so hopefully we don't know a time yet, but I don't know. Hopefully it makes sense for our partying schedule. Of
Nice. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, stoked. Yeah, I've got a buddy from up here in Buffalo that's going to make the trip down, and then a buddy in Nashville, or two friends in Nashville that are going to make the trip too as well.
Are you going to fly or drive?
Oh, we're flying. Yeah. When I was still living in Nashville, we would still drive. Me and my buddy Nathan. We would still drive down, and it's always fun driving down, but that drive back Monday morning always sucked balls.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny you should say that, because the one time we toured down, Justin and I flew back, and Will and his brother had to drive the van back with all of our crap. So I kind of screwed the pooch on that one for the Romeo brothers, but whatever.
I don't know. I think we kind of paid for it on that ride back from Jacksonville.
The most hungover I've ever been in a Denny's in my entire life was that Monday morning. Holy shit!
Yeah, we took Zach back with us too. Zach came with us. So forgot.
How far of a drive was that from Gainesville back up to your guys' neck of the woods?
16 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
20 with stops if you're gonna,
Yeah, of course. You got to stop at every Buc-ee's now, and
I think you guys stayed in Richmond though, right?
Yeah, my buddies, old friends from Richmond. I reached out to one of them, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I work at the Broadberry. Why don't you come for drinks?" So we met them and we watched some jam band play. Some jam band that sold out that room. It was, of course, it was like a Goose kind of band. Is that what that band's called? They were kind of like that. And then we went to a house party, and then we just continued the 7-hour drive back up. And that was cool. My ADHD is so bad in my 40s now that I can't do that drive all the way down and back. It's just too. It's so much easier to fly for me.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna do a little bit of a Canada run, and it's gonna be some long rides. So we'll see if we come back. I mean, we might have to leave Will in Canada.
No, I'm good. Last week I play in this band called American Thrills from Connecticut, and we did some shows in the Midwest last week. So I'm prepared for the 5-6 hour drives. It's not preferred, but we started in Oklahoma City, went to Kansas City, then St. Louis, and then Milwaukee. So we had some drives.
Yeah, for sure. I think sleeping in a van has contributed to a mild case of sciatica that I have. The freaking bench seat for the many of tours in the Shark van that we used to have in Blacklist Royals.
Wait, did you say Shark van or Shark van?
It was a Shark. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was a silver van, and then we had. It kind of looked like the Flying Tigers.
Nice.
The smiling teeth on the side, but we called it the Shark.
Oh, that's it.
I thought he said shart as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd be like, I hope no one's sharting in that.
No.
Right. Everybody's just shitting their pants in that van.
I'm sure it probably happened once or twice, but everyone was just like, shh. Mum was the word.
So what is you guys' plans for the after this album drops?
Will?
We're gonna probably play some shows. We're gonna do the fest. We got some local stuff coming up, and it's been a little hard to wrangle some of that stuff together. We have Kevin from Tired Radio playing with us, so he's been doing that, and he's also doing Make War in the U.S. So it's
really?
Putting the schedule together is just got to see when it works. But I don't know. I do want to go and do some Midwest touring next year, because we've been to California, we've done the fest. Some stuff on the East Coast, so I want to come actually play in Nashville. I heard there's I haven't done that since the early 2000s, played music. So in the punk rock band, because I've been in Nashville. It's just my brother lives in Gallatin actually.
Oh, shit! Nice.
Yeah. And I was funny, you know who actually lives in Gallatin too? Who's my guitar teacher? Dave Nassie from No Use for a Name.
No shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we FaceTime once a week, and he's my guitar teacher.
Wow.
So he plays in Kip Moore band. So he's in a big country band. So he's
okay,
but he still squeezes me in.
That's awesome. Yeah. I was actually born in Gallatin, Tennessee.
Nice.
Yeah, 1975. Yeah.
Sick.
You're old.
And never looked back. Yeah, I am old. Yeah.
No, you don't look it.
Yeah.
There's that big hospital there, right?
Yeah. But cool. Yeah. So if you guys ever looking for bands to play with or venues for Nashville, let Russ and I know. Yeah, we definitely have the hookup for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Nashville's happening right now, man. I mean, it's always been happening, but right now it's like the scene right now in Nashville is insane with whether hardcore bands, punk bands, metal bands, everything is just it's going on right now.
Yeah, they've got a good thing going on right there. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome
Maybe-
to hear. I was there with my wife a couple of years ago, and like that just wasn't on our radar. We were just kind of like doing the tourist thing, so I wasn't even thinking about that. But that's really cool to know.
Eric, there was a venue in the early 2000s in Nashville, and it was like a venue, and you remember that band Elliot
Yeah.
Yes.
on Revelation, like an emo band? They're from like Louisville.
Louisville, yeah. They used to be they were by the grace of God before that. Or members
Yeah,
of were that.
Yeah, we played a venue. My old band back, they played a venue there, and the back of the venue, I forgot the name of this place. They had a record store, a tattoo shop, and a cafe. And then you go in the front.
The
it was the
Muse.
music. The Muse.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Muse. Yep.
It is now a Domino's Pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And just so you know, not only did it have all that, later on in the years upstairs, they had a pole dancing venue or a spot where they would teach you how to pole dance. But who knows? Yeah. But I mean,
Oh
you
man,
know,
the Muse. Wow.
and then right next
Yeah.
door was the world's largest bookstore.
But their sound guy ran that place, and he was like the sound guy there. And I remember we played with like there was like a big garage band scene back in the day, like in the like early 2000s. There was like a lot of like that was all the jazz of like not country music in Nashville.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like what you like Strokes kind of style?
Yeah, it's like Strokes, kind of a little louder.
Who did y'all play? Are you trying to? Do you remember who you played with, or is that what you're trying to figure out?
I do not remember who we played with. It was just we were just thrown on this bill because back in the day you could call a venue up and people were cool.
Yep.
They'd be like, "Yeah, you can come on and open up. Maybe we'll give you $50."
Yeah, that's rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully whoever would like the local band would be like, yeah, we don't need to take this $20. We'll give it to you. You know, it's like, that's what we did. Whenever we had, we'd jump on a show in Nashville and we just tell the the owner, bar, whoever, we don't need to make any money. Just give whatever from the door to the touring band. We just want to play. Yeah.
That still happens, which is I mean, maybe few and far between, but it still happens, and it's good to see that sometimes.
Yeah. We played in California, and we played this brewery, and like all the bands gave us like all the money.
That's rad.
Yeah,
it made that 7-hour drive to was it like Santa Rosa to San Francisco? It was like 5 or 7 hours. It was a long drive.
Yeah, it's rough.
Santa Rosa to LA. Yeah.
So are there plans for vinyl for the record?
Yeah.
Or?
Vinyl's already here.
Yeah.
Nice.
It looks great. We did it with 30. Andy at Sell the Heart Records did it with 33 hertz. And what I love about
33 grooves.
33 grooves. That's it. My bad. 33 grooves. What I love about that place, they only do 180 gram. Like you can't. So it's like I'm so amped to see these records, and the colors that the guys picked they're awesome.
Sick.
So, yeah, definitely proud of it, of the production on it. Justin did a great job on the layout and the art. And they sound great. The test presses are awesome.
We used the same guy that did the cover for Don't Panic for this one as well, and he's got an incredible eye for photography, and we just figured, why don't we tap him again for this?
That's rad.
He like listens to the record, and he was like, "Hey, this is what I came up with. This is like the tone I got from."
And it was spot on.
Yeah.
Like in a way, like it wasn't like he didn't know exactly what we were going through and the things that we were dealing with, but like it just captured it somehow anyway. We're just like, yeah, perfect.
He's like, yeah, the songs are like kind of somber, blah blah blah, but it's got this, he even like wrote like somber, blah blah blah. Yeah, but he was like, he's like, this is kind of what I'm getting, and he's like, I look at like the cover art and I see the car there, like, why is the car there? Like, are they parked there? Is the car abandoned? Like, what's going on? And he just took this picture of this car that was like sitting there, and like he just was like, why is it there? Like, this is this nice car. And then we were like, hey, so what do you want to do for like the back cover? Like, did you get any other pictures that day? And he's like, I couldn't find anything else from that day. And he went back and the car was gone. And he's like, dude, I passed this car like so many times on my way to work. It was always there. And then he goes, I went back to take a picture and the car was gone. So like, if you look at the back cover of the record, you still see like the tire tracks, like the imprint on the
But
ground.
it's gone, baby.
Yeah. So
That's sick.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah.
Worked out great.
Yeah, so when you frame your record, you're gonna have to actually do the one frame with the front of the record, and then another frame with the back of the record.
Yeah,
you put it up on the
you can
wall.
get the jacket open.
The
Oh,
time
okay.
of year, the seasons are different too. So like the lighting's a little different. It's just like it's clearly the same shot, just from a different perspective.
That's sick, man.
Yeah.
How many did you guys get pressed up?
300.
Was it 3? Yeah.
Yeah, 300.
Nice.
150 of each.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so. A modest 300. Andy's really good from our label. He's like, yeah, I see what you guys are doing. He's like, let's start with 300 and then we'll do the repress, and we could pump it with some different colors and stuff like that. So he's kind of based everything off of what we did with the last record, and
Yeah, the pre-orders are looking pretty decent so far. So we're starting ahead.
That's rad. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna take some up with us to our friends when we play these shows in Ontario. So we're gonna have them with us because they're here. They're pressed. The pressing plant did such a great job. Like I'm so amped on it was done so quickly, and it seems like those vinyl wait times are kind of evened out a bit from COVID.
That's cool. Yeah, for sure.
because the last record, Don't Panic, like it was pandemic, everybody's pressing vinyl, and it was one of those delays, like, hey, the record's out, and we're just like, oh, vinyl's coming, and then finally we got a picture from the plant that they were pressed, and we're like, yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
It was supposed to come out in June. It came out like September, so we had them for Fest, which was awesome. But yeah, we're like, yeah, we're never getting these. It's cool.
Yeah. So this time around, we have the vinyl before the release date. So people that order them, they'll end up getting it definitely before the release date.
Real quick.
I know for a while, a few years back, around COVID and after, there was a long delay on vinyl pressings because apparently Taylor Swift had decided to press X amount of thousands of every single one of her records because she did it her way, and it put like a halt on all the vinyl pressing because of course you got to get the queen her stuff, and so it's like it put a big delay too, but so a lot of people go to Czech where they get a lot of vinyl pressed up overseas.
Yeah, I think that's where like Fat Records. I think
does.
Yeah, Pirates Press I think is out of Czech. But yeah, there's more pressing plans popping up now, like since the pandemic. I think when people realized it was like the vinyl, was the demand was there, more spots opened up, so it's cool.
I know that Jack White, opened up a few of the ones that were in Chicago back in the day that had closed down. He reopened them and got them back up and running because he's a big supporter of the vinyl. Obviously, he had Third Man Records in Nashville where you can go and get a piece of wax pressed up that day of you playing a song in their recording booth. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Love that shit.
Yeah. His venue is rad too. It sounds great. My wife and I went and saw Lydia Lovelace.
She's great.
Oh, dude, beautiful voice. Oh my God. Yeah. I'd never really listened to her, and my wife is a huge fan, and she was like, "Hey, we're gonna go see Lydia Lovelace," and I'm like, "All right, okay."
She doesn't hit a bad note.
No, dude.
Now
I'm like a super fan. I want to say it wasn't last year, but the fest before that, I went because fucking All played, and Methadones were there again. Sam I Am, but she was there with Sammy K.
I know. I played guitar with her.
Shut the fuck up!
I was waiting for this moment, right?
He was
the guitar player there.
I was one. Me and we had a 3-axe attack. Sammy, me, and her.
Ah, man, yeah, that was a great show. Yeah, because my buddy Nathan is a huge Sammy fan, and Yeah, we went, and I was like, "Holy shit, is that Lydia Lovelace?" And I'm like, I was looking at my phone, you know, as like Instagram and shit. I'm like, "Holy shit, that's Lydia Lovelace!" Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
Great.
her last record, I'll still put it on. You know, I was like, I'll go from like, you know, Amon Amarth, Sick of It All, and then Lydia Lovelace, you know, just to calm down.
We tried to get her to sing on this record because we have kind of an alt country-ish song. She was too busy at the time, but like that would have been fucking dope.
I think she's like, oh, thanks for asking. She's like, I'm really just burnt out on. She's like, I'm on so many records, like I kind of just want to do my thing right now. So like appreciate it, but
yeah.
So we got our buddy's wife to sing on it, and she did a great job. So,
nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so we'll probably release that song as like a single, probably after Fest. It's a cool song. It's a reimagination of a single we did, you know, a few years ago. So we just kind of took one of our older songs and gave it a different feel.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was like a straightforward kind of punk jam, and it was never quite arranged or put together the way that especially Will wanted. And when we were able to like break it down and rewrite it, it came out great. It
sounded like a Bad Religion song, and now it sounds like a Greg Graffin song.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, so it's all the same shit when it comes down to it.
Yeah. I love pedal steel, so I went a different route. I have a couple people through Sammy's Rolodex that I use for session work, but I hit this guy up from Rhode Island, Cody Nielsen, and he plays with like the Dropkick Murphys, and he's like really good. And I just messaged him, and I was like, "Would you play on this?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "What's your rate?" I was like, "No." And like 2 days later, it was like, and then dropped it right in the song, edited it a bit, and it was awesome. It was really great to work with him.
Yeah. Now that I have a house and I have kind of like a music room, like pedal steel, I think is like the next, instrument that I'm gonna, be kind of good at, but not really. Kind of like everything else that I play.
Yeah, Will's trying to push me to get something cheap just to have in my house to kind of figure out at some point, so we don't have to ask anybody else to play on
nice.
it anymore.
Yeah. Actually, Lydia Lovelace's boyfriend, John Calvin Abney. He's another great steel player, and he plays like steel style guitar and a Telecaster. And I used him on. Okay. I did a solo thing. I did like a Plowed cover, and he played that on it. And he's like, "Oh, by the way, I added some some Fender Rhodes on here and stuff." He just sent them back to me, and I was like, "You're amazing."
But, nice.
He used to play with John Moreland. Do you know John Moreland?
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's a songwriter. I met him through Sammy because one of the shows we did, but he's definitely in the Rolodex for more Neckscars stuff when we make the full country record.
Nice.
Thank you for saying that, Will, because that's kind of like where this record Unhinged is kind of springing off from, because it's the cliche thing that people say all the time where it's like, oh, everybody has different influences from everywhere, and it like ends up being like, all these different kinds of songs all in one. But for this, when you say that and you hear it sometimes with bands, it's like, oh, you clearly tried really hard to make this kind of song and it just doesn't jive. But all of these songs sound like us. And I think that's just kind of what gave us the idea of like, well, why don't we do a country EP and then a hardcore EP and then a punk rock EP and then like put it all together or something like that. So that might be something we do down the line.
After talking to Justin, I think the next batch of songs will probably sound like Pelican.
Oh, okay. Well, that's news to me. I haven't even heard this yet.
You heard it here.
No, you heard it here first.
Heard it here first, Colin.
I heard it here first.
No singing, just fuzzed out.
Oh, great. Perfect.
Taking a break.
So your guys' influences are all over the board, right?
Totally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess you could hear it.
Yeah.
We have a zone, but we're starting to experiment a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say everything. We consider ourselves a punk band because that's like the scene we grew up in, and those are like the most bands. But I mean, like, we're all classic rock dudes. We're all like into our instruments, so we dig on people that play well, and we also dig on people that don't play well. So
yeah, that's a good way of putting it, actually.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a huge range, whether it's like indie or metal or punk or ska. I mean, I don't, maybe we don't lean so much on like the dubstep or anything like that, but
Not yet.
otherwise,
Not yet.
No. I don't
Not
think
yet.
Skrillex is going to come calling anytime soon.
Why? He was on the Warped Tour.
Yeah, he sure was, and that band wasn't very good, but
Yeah.
not hating on Sonny, sorry.
Didn't he get back together with that band recently?
Yeah, they exist again right now.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I guess I got to work around his schedule.
Well, it's when you were young fest, I think.
Oh God, yeah.
Brought it out in him.
So, is this like the third year they're doing it now? Like, 'cause they've done it, or is this the second year?
Well, didn't they like cancel the second day or something? It was like a big deal. Like people were pissed off. All this, I don't know.
I think it was like very bad winds or something.
Yeah.
I do remember too, and then all the merch that was printed was all printed fucked up because all some band names were spelt wrong on the back and stuff, and and like I know Newfound Glory posted what theirs was, and theirs was all wrong, and it's just like,
I think they were actually stoked though. They thought it was funny.
Yeah, they were. I think they may have even released a limited editions with.
That's amazing.
Yeah. When I first found out about that show, I was just like, really? How are they going to do that many fucking bands? Okay, this isn't going to last, and I've been proven wrong because this is the third year that they're doing it. So.
It sounded like a ruse. I was just like,
that's what I thought too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke.
Yeah,
like the whole thing. I'm like, this is real.
It's just like real thing. Something to throw in Hot Topic for
Yeah.
like,
that's the same area too, though, where that Country Fest was at a couple years back, where that dude shot into it, right?
Yeah, it was the same area. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. And then I know Fat Mike came back and played like the next year, and he was like, he had to be Fat Mike, and he said something like,
they got banned, they got canceled.
Yeah.
Fucking
Country fans and
yeah.
It's funny. So I went to. They did 3 nights in New York City on their last tour, and it was club shows. It was
sick.
Yeah, so it was like some of their only club shows. So I went to all 3 nights, and it was funny. Every night he's on stage, he's saying the most ridiculous shit. He's like, "We can't get canceled twice."
Shit.
He's like, he was just like out of control. It was a lot of fun. I mean, they played a lot of shit that I never heard them play, which was cool.
We got to watch the last night together. That was a fun time.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I went to the first night with Justin. He got us the primo seats.
Oh yeah. We got VIP balcony that night.
Nice.
He didn't tell me that. I'm standing in the crowd with your dumb ass on the last day. What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean,
we were all over the place.
Yeah, I think we were only up in the balcony for like extracurriculars.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we were down.
You were doing your homework,
catching your breath from the pit. Yeah. Stretching. Yeah. I got to see NoFX once in a club, and that was at this really cool venue we had in Nashville called 328, and they were on the So Long tour with Swinging Utters and a band that I finally realized that I liked called the Teen Idols from Nashville, Tennessee, opened. And
20 Below, man. Great song.
Dude. Oh yeah. That was like one of the songs that I was just like, okay, yeah, I love Heather and I love, like the crush for Heather and Teen Idols. But other than that show, I don't think I ever saw them again in a club because it was always, like Warped Tour. Yeah. So that's cool.
I saw them at Coney Island High when I was younger with Kitty Kowalski. It was a venue on St. Mark's Place. Jesse Mallon used to own it. from
Oh
New
shit.
Generation.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I saw everybody there in the 90s. Like I was 95, 94, 95 when I was like freshman in high school. I would go down, like I'd see I saw Bracket there, No Use there. Bad Religion did 3 nights there, but those were completely sold out.
Yeah, that sounds kind of like what 328 was in Nashville, because 328, it's like 90s and then early 2000s. The Bosstones always came through, and when the Bosstones came, they always brought, somebody new. Like first time I saw them, they brought this New York band called Black Train Jack. Don't know if you, fucking great show. And then the next time they came around, they brought Wax and Face to Face. And then, they were always bringing, and then Descendants played there on the Everything Sucks tour. Specials played there on their reunion tour. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Now it's a hotel.
Fucking God. Yeah,
They
dude.
tore it down,
I would drive by that intersection and just every day when I would go to work, and I would just sigh. And then
that's every city, it seems.
That's the wetlands in New York City. That's like apartment buildings now. Like
it's condos. It's all fucking condos.
CBGB's is a John Varvatos store.
But that's but the stage is still there.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's what Nashville, Tennessee is turning into, unfortunately. But we still got, Nashville still has the End, which is a quintessential like punk rock like club. Jane's Addiction played there back in the day. My brother went and saw Blind Melon there, and everyone's played there. And then right across the street is the Exit Inn. It's new owners, but it still has, that same, it's great venue. And then over in East Nashville, they've got some good venues as well. So,
I haven't been to East Nashville since. It's really, from what I was told, it's like really expensive.
Oh yeah,
it's like New York prices.
Yeah. We kind of got priced out of Nashville. That's why I'm glad my wife got this job up here in Buffalo, because we could actually afford a house here in Buffalo, and we really couldn't in Middle Tennessee or Nashville anyway.
One thing I enjoyed very much when I was there with my wife is we went to a Nashville SC game at the stadium. That was such a fucking dope stadium.
The Castle is that's a great venue. And
that the neighborhood is so sweet. You're walking down the road and you're like, how am I going to be? There's going to be a stadium at the end of this road, and everybody's charging for people to park in their yards and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude. Cool. My buddy, my former bandmate from Blacklist Royals, he has a bar called Lucky's.
I was there.
Yeah. Jamie, who was the guitar player in Blacklist Royals, that's one of his bars.
No shit. We went there ahead of time, I think, before the game.
That's where my wife and I would pregame, couple of beers before walking down.
Real throwback bar too. Like
for sure. Yeah, which is cool. I mean, because they pretty much, just kept that bar as it was, It's like, because that neighborhood,
We got one of those those random bikes that you can rent and then just rode to the stadium from there.
Oh yeah, cool. Nice.
Yeah. That state. I went and saw Green Day there last year, and I was like, never been, so I didn't think about leaving early. Of course, we had to park blocks and blocks and blocks away at some factory parking lot, but no for next time now. But it's a beautiful stadium, though.
Yeah, how was it for music? Was it a cool setup?
It sounded for an outside show. It sounded great.
Nice.
And plus, it being a soccer stadium, you can walk around, so you didn't have to stay in your seats.
Yeah.
So we walked around and stood right in the front of of the stadium, so you get the sound coming all at you, and we were fine.
Nice.
But it's not too bad. No.
Yeah.
It sounded better than what the football arena sounds like. So.
Yeah.
But
Russ went and saw Metallica 2 nights.
Yeah,
I did that a couple of years ago in New York, or
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yes, MetLife.
MetLife.
Yeah. I went
Fucking
both nights.
hellhole.
We got floor seats the second day. I waited until like the last minute, like when doors opened, and fucking splurged on floor seats. And they killed it. It was great.
I did it. I did the floor seats this year. Yeah, dude, they sounded great live. You know, they sound good.
The first night, I gotta say, there was like a certain like part of the show where it was like slowing down, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. Just play like Fuel or something. I was like, I'll fucking take Fuel right now. Like,
because you needed a break.
It was just getting like a little boring. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Just like I'll take fucking Fuel at this point.
Yeah.
But then they came in. They did some cool shit. It was awesome.
Since it was being Nashville, of course, all the celebrities were there hanging out. You know, and the remaining members of Deep Purple were in the house.
Sick.
What? So, yeah, they were hanging out. Yeah, and
not Richie Blackmore, right?
No.
Oh, like, when you mean remaining, not live, you meant
the current members in the band.
Okay.
The current original members that are in the band still. But Lars had pedal issues.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, no, never heard that before. They all go into Smoke on the Water kind of acoustically done. We're all it was pretty cool. So.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't turn on the backing tracks for him.
No. So I mean, I'd say poor Lars, but that guy's such an asshole that it's like whatever.
Yeah. For a second there, because I was on the floor myself this current time, and I was so close to the stage that you would hear the snare before you would hear it come out the speakers, and it was it was like, oh, I didn't realize how close I was, but it was annoying for like 15 minutes because you're hearing like this talk, like this echoing, and it was just like, bro, like because he had 4 drum sets set up around the whole stage. Yeah. So he would drop down, he'd go over, come back up, do his thing, drop down, run around. Yeah. 4, not 1 drum set, not 2, but 4.
That's crazy.
Because I mean, how Pantera had 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Pantera had 2 drum sets.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Did he have a Gibraltar drum rack?
I couldn't tell.
I don't think he did.
No.
That's like you know the rule: no shorts, no strats, no Gibraltar drum rack.
Hasn't his drum set gotten isn't it like the smallest it's ever been now?
Well, because he can play them all.
Yeah, he's got I think he did a fine job. He had 2 rack toms.
I'm not hating.
Floor tom.
No, it's like the only drummer that used all his drums in a metal band was Nico from Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah. Him or Mike Portnoy or however you pronounce his. Yeah.
Neil Peart.
Oh, Neil. Dude. So apparently there's going to be a statue of Neil in St. Catharines.
Oh, really? Cool.
Hopefully, I think they're aiming for September or October of this year. So yeah. I'm totally gonna nerd out and go up, cross the border, and
hopefully looks
hang out with
statue.
Yeah, what's that? The LeBron statue.
The other thing look horrible.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, you can also nerd out and cross the border and come see us play at the end of the month too, if you feel.
Yeah, you can.
So, where are you guys playing in Ontario?
Niagara Falls.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
Camp Cataract.
I will. I'll message you. I'll find your Instagram, and we'll be friends on Instagram. So cool. Yeah, I'll hit you guys up. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, because I know like this month I've got Hot Water Music coming up here soon. Nice. Stoked on that. Just
are you going to any of the propaganda shows or no?
Probably not. I don't know. It depends.
I was thinking maybe the Montreal show.
Yeah. Ooh, I could convince my wife. Let's go to Montreal. Why?
Yeah, I was just up there for Frenzel Realm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, Lesson Jake was just here. I think not last weekend, but weekend before. So it was good to see those guys.
Nice.
They played at this place called Riverworks here in Buffalo. Yeah, it was Fishbone and Suicide
Oh,
Machines.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
So sick.
crazy.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah,
That's a sick show.
yeah. It
What's
was
this on?
it was a great tour. Oh, dude, sounded great.
I
Yeah.
bet.
I mean, I think just 2 original members left. Can't think of names, but the bass player wasn't there, and I was like, "What is but yeah, they still sounded great." Yeah, but yeah, stoked to see Hot Water Music here in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
Who are they with?
Shit, a band that I've never heard of.
Oh, that's right. They're playing in Woodstock. They're
Oh,
playing
yeah.
in You know what? I was thinking they're playing Woodstock the 23rd. I might go up to that show and promote our Beacon show, which is the
Not a bad
next
idea.
night. But old people just that's the funny thing about Hot Water Music. Like they're like, yeah, we're gonna play in Woodstock, New York, because that's where all our fans from the city moved.
Yeah.
Like they know their demographic. They're like,
Smart.
yeah, like our fans don't live in the city anymore. We're gonna play upstate.
It's a band called the Rodeo Boys.
Oh hell yeah, yeah! that's a
I've
good
never
band.
heard of them. Is it good stuff?
They're
Great
great.
band.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually my buddy Stevie D. I think he's related to the singer.
Okay.
So
Nice.
They
Cool.
came around with the Menzingers, I think earlier
wow.
this year.
yeah, they're doing shit. They're
I wanted to go
working.
see them, but I couldn't.
Yeah, they put out an album this year. Great band.
Nice.
They're on Fest, right, Justin?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
yeah.
they will be on Fest.
So, what band are you guys stoked to see at Fest this year?
Shelter.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you know what? That was one I was excited for. Yeah, it was
Cadillac
Shelter.
Blindside.
You know, I never heard them until you told me about them. You're like, oh, Cadillac Blindside's playing. I was like, oh. Then I hit up my wife. I was like, you know this band? This seems like something you listen to. And she's like, no.
So good.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't even have the lineup. What is?
I mean, these guys aren't huge fans, but Piebald is always good in my book.
Oh,
so.
Piebald's fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice,
they're great.
nice.
Yeah,
By guys, I mean Justin. He doesn't like that.
I am not part of it.
Yeah, I know. Well, get part
Hey,
of it.
I'm not part of it.
Yeah, you are, and you're gonna be.
I'm
Whether
out.
You like it?
I'm out.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're dragging.
What do you got? D4s should be sick. Banner Pilot, that's good. They
Oh,
have-
dude. Yeah. I keep on forgetting that Banner Pilot's going to be there, and I'm totally stoked to see those guys again because it's the last time I saw them play. I think it might have been either Fest 15 or Fest 18 or 17, and Tony put them on first at Bo Diddley, and it didn't sound good at all. I was so crushed, man. My wife, she was like, I think she was even more crushed than I was because that was like one band that she was totally stoked to see. And I think they made too much party the night before and didn't realize they had to go on that early. But yeah. So hopefully they
that
bring it
stage
this
is
time.
weird sometimes. Sometimes like really good bands are not sounding exactly what you think they should sound, and you're like, I don't know what the deal is with that, but I don't know. There's greatness there though too.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pumped to see RX Bandits. I haven't seen them in 1,000 years, so that's gonna be
Nice.
sweet.
Nice.
I'm pumped to see some of our buds bands like Oh the Humanity.
Yeah, so I
from
think
the UK.
yeah, Backteeth is gonna be sick. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, we have like some years we just watch like all of our friends' bands play, and we end up like missing like bands, and we're like, that's okay because we had like such a good time. Like I
Yeah,
remember
for sure.
when we played Pooza years ago. We went and saw our friend's band. I forget what they were called, like Deadwords or something like that.
Oh yeah, Deadwoods or something. We walked like 35 minutes to a venue on the other side of town,
and we had so much fun. And then when we got back, I was like, oh, I missed the Muffs, and I never got to see the Muffs. But at least I could say like, oh, you know what? Like I still like vividly remember like hanging out at that set and like watching our friends' band play and like just having so much fun. So it was like one of those things. So I never regret like seen the Buds bands.
Yeah.
And,
For sure. Yeah.
Is 7 Seconds playing this year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hand the mic over to Trap Jaw. I'll be right back.
Crap job.
Yeah, I think 7 Seconds, Drug Church is playing.
Really?
I haven't
Yeah.
seen them yet.
Neither have I. They're I've seen some of their live shows. They got a lot of energy.
Yep.
A lot of energy. Yeah, I was looking at the lineup for Fest, man. Cole East is playing, and check out his band from Cali. They're called the Hartwells. Have you guys heard of them?
Yeah.
No.
They're playing this year. Go ahead.
They think did they play 2012?
I think you might be correct on that.
I think Game Day played with them at Lucy's 2012. Them, Arms of Law, my old band, our old band. Yeah, they've been around for a long time. I remember them being
The
awesome.
lineup, it's like everybody that like I'm looking like people that I've chatted with over the last year or so. It's like a lot of the bands this year a lot of those bands are playing this year at Fest, and I'm like pretty stoked. I'm not gonna be able to make it this year, but I plan on going down there next year. Check it out. I mean, I'm only in Nashville, so Jacksonville or Gainesville is not that far from here.
Yeah, 84 Tigers are playing again. Have you heard them?
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yep.
So it's members from Small Brown Bike.
Let me see here. Tsunami Bomb's playing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the guitar player Andy, that's the guy who owns our label.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, two great bands, Hammer Bombs.
Okay.
Oh, the Hammer Bombs from Cali.
And Loud Graves is so sick. Loud Graves is so sick too.
Last time I saw Tsunami Bomb, they were doing off dates from Warp Tour, and they played The Muse with Poison the Well.
Nice.
Oh,
That's
sick.
a random
nice.
show.
Yeah, it was just they were all doing like off days, so there was like 3 or 4 bands just decided to play Nashville, the night before. So that was pretty cool. I actually believe Nashville didn't get Warp Tour that year because there was a good period of time that Nashville wasn't getting Warp Tour at all. So
Nashville wasn't getting shit for a long time, man.
No.
It seemed like we were always having to drive down to Atlanta, just to see shows. Because
What was it? Was it like just like the country mafia that was not allowing
well,
it?
I think it was around the time that 328 got shut down, and then whoever was booking shows, like whatever promotion company or whatever these bands that were on, they just they weren't coming through. They weren't coming through Nashville for some godly reason. Now it seems like ever since I moved, fucking everybody's playing Nashville now. So
Great.
Yeah. I want to see the Suicide Machine, so I'm stoked that they'll be coming through here with Less Than Jake. So
Nice.
and
Oh, hell
Fishbone. So
dude.
they're a bucket list band. But wait a second, they played though, right? Eric, with Descendants, right? Or did they play?
No,
with
they played with Rancid and Rocket from the Crypt at 328.
328. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I did see Suicide Machines with Descendants.
In
So that wasn't
97.
tour.
97.
No, this was one of the first times they got back together. They played
Okay.
Roselands. It was H2O actually. It was H2O.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And Descendants. Yeah, it was their first time back.
Yeah. That East Coast Fuck You tour just came through Buffalo, so it was cool to see H2O again. It had been a long minute since I had seen those guys.
Yeah, it was Eric. It was 97. It was Suicide Machine, Descendants, and Shades Apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was actually on April 4th. So, yeah,
Wait, was that at 328?
328. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I went to that. Yeah, because that was the Everything Sucks tour, right? It had to have been.
97?
Yeah, it was. Yes, for Descendants, it was. Correct.
Yeah.
Because it was Descendants headline, and then it was Suicide Machines played second, and then Shades Apart played first.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So yeah,
So 328 was the shit.
328
it
was
God,
it was so good.
It was our small venue that had some of the raddest fucking shows.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was hotter than hell in that place.
Yeah.
But I saw E-Town Concrete, Hate Breed, and VOD there.
Nice. I saw back in the day. It was a weird tour. It was Rise Against when they like released their first record. So it was Rise Against, God Forbid. No, it was Rise Against, Strife.
Oh shit!
So Rise Against, Strife, God Forbid, and then E-Town.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. That's when Rise Against was still a good band.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
I mean, no, I mean, yeah. Hey, I'm happy for Zach.
Yeah.
After playing in Hagfish and Armstrong, and now he's in Rise Against. So good for Zach.
Make the money.
Yep. Yes. Yes. Yes.
We all get to that point.
Right. For sure.
E-Town still crushes it though. I saw him at This Is Hardcore last year.
Oh yeah.
Those guys. I mean, not my favorite hardcore band, but they kill it.
Yeah. I mean, it ain't broke, so they ain't fixing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing. I saw the Suicide Machines with Justin. Colin, were you there? It was them, Bouncing Souls, face to face at Irving Plaza a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was
we were
there.
there.
Suicide Machines like destroyed it. I wouldn't want to play after that band. They were just like that good that night. I had my jaw on the floor. I mean, it might have been the edible, but I had my jaw on the floor. Killed
This
it.
episode brought to you by edibles and what
Edibles,
they do to you.
Yes. And all the different activities you could do after
Yes.
eating one.
They're
I mean,
fantastic.
if you listen to the new album, just know like we're eating edibles. The entire time.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. We were holed up in that house in the middle of Ithaca, or the outskirts of Ithaca. There was snow everywhere. It was 10 degrees. And
Jesus.
what else do you do all day and night is, cook and eat edibles.
Then we
and
were
drink beer.
recorded it. We were bringing. We were getting the weed seltzers. We were giving it to the guy recording us.
Oh yeah.
we would. There was a dispensary down the road from my house. We were stopping every day on the way to the studio.
Oh yeah, that was.
People
Yeah, I
saw
forgot
us
about
like
that.
every day. We just roll up with all these, and we had so many snacks. Like I feel like when we're not in that studio, like they're probably just like, oh, these guys suck. Like every other band, like they're not bringing any snacks, they're not bringing any edibles. Like,
It's actually
so lame.
It's a surprise we don't sound like a band like Goose at this point. With all
That's
of
what I was
the
about to
fucking-
say, man. It's like, are you sure it's not a jam band record? You guys are
So what
one
you're
big
saying
drum
is-
circle.
Yeah, right.
So what you're saying is we need to have edibles when we listen to this new record.
Yes.
Oh hell yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
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 You're not putting those inside each vinyl that you open it up. There's
not
like
a bad
a
idea.
You know what?
Yeah.
We could talk to the Suits about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
limited edition. Limited edition.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, this is a great idea.
The green splatter or shatter fucking.
Don't eat the
Marion.
vinyl. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
an edible.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't eat the vinyl.
Hell yeah.
So hey, so Eric,
Yes.
you got some questions?
Yeah, for sure. So
These are the randos.
yeah. Okay, so I noticed, watching the video, there's no drummer in the band. Which one of you guys play drums, but refuse to play drums in this band? Play the instrument that you're playing.
None of us. Not one of us can play drums.
Oh, okay.
I owned a drum set at one point.
Yeah, I own a drum set right now. It's in the basement.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't play it.
Yeah, the reason why I asked that is like the first band that I was ever in, I was a drummer, and was in a band 3 years playing drums, and then right after that, I went straight to just being a lead singer. And I've never wanted to go back to being a drummer anymore because of just the amount of shit that you have to carry when you are the drummer. So yeah. So yeah, that was that. I was wondering about that. If any of you guys played drums and that you just didn't want to play drums anymore, you just wanted to play, guitar, bass, sing. So
No, I wanted to play drums, but I was never good enough to play drums. So
Yeah.
kind of.
yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah. I remember, just getting that first like fast song out of the way in the set, so everything else could be, not as Mach 5, you know, being in a punk rock band playing drums. Yeah, for sure.
What is your guys's, you know, the song you guys play live that you would say is like the one you can never get rid of?
Jarring.
Yeah.
Jarring, JPM's.
Born sick.
We could. I think we've not played that one before.
Have we? Maybe
Yeah,
once. I feel like it's almost temporary is almost always there.
Yeah, maybe those 4 are like the ones.
Those are the core 4.
Core 4. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
those are the core 4, and then everything else just kind of weavers and waivers. And that's like also something we're like talking about, like how many new songs do you put in the new set? Like, you know, we'd love to play like half and half, but we're like, you know what? Like, I think 4 is like a good like max number. Nobody wants to hear like more than 4 new songs, at least until like they love the album, you know?
Yeah,
For sure.
It's like
Right
when you
on.
go see a lot of these older bands and they're touring and they're playing all the old shit, but then they want to play a lot of new stuff. And a lot of times you don't want to hear that new stuff. You want to hear the hits. You want to hear what you know. And, you know, I mean, I'm happy for you that you're still putting out new music, but, you know, for 40 years, you know, you want to hear what you want to hear. You know, it's like if you go see Descendants play, you want to hear all the hits from Descendants. You know what I'm saying? If you go see Pennywise, you want the hits, you know?
Although I don't know if I ever have to hear Bro Him ever again.
I think in an interview recently, I heard Fletcher say the only time that song has ever been not played is when the cops have broke up a party.
Oh,
That
shit.
song has been played. That song has been played every single time
Yeah.
since they have been a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they would riot if they don't play it though.
I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
21st Century Digital Boy. I never need to hear that one again.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. If you guys, when you guys are on the road, what's your guys' gas station snack picks?
Ooh, Takis and Tecatis.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Takis and Tecates. That's a good one.
Yeah. Justin's usually pretty good with the chip selection. Sometimes he gets a little healthy in there, and we get some like, you know.
Oh,
mango
dude,
juice.
there was this. We had this sick snack spot down the road from the studio that we recorded at. And they had like some healthy stuff. Like they had like this wasabi seaweed. Oh my god!
Shit.
Yeah, like they had like authentic snacks from like all over, like different regions. It was insane. We showed up with a lot of crazy. All to get like the spicy mustard Doritos.
Hey, those are fire. Those are fire.
Yeah,
I like those.
yeah,
They're only out for they're back for a limited time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Too many
Justin
snacks.
makes sure that he goes to the finest brewery in the Hudson Valley to get us like multiple 4-packs of these amazing IPAs.
Oh, nice.
Although you've been sprinkling in the pilsners there too, because you know we gotta have a pace. You know.
Pace. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we had a brewery close to our practice space in Nashville called the Bearded Iris, and it was heavily IPA driven brewery, and they were all potent as all get out.
Yeah.
It would be like, you know, I think the lightest one was maybe 5.9 or something like that, right? And we would, we're going to get a couple of beers before practice. And then the next thing you know, we're all 3 deep and we're sitting outside. The weather's beautiful. And we're like, well, I guess we're not practicing anymore. Yeah.
We did that once. We
did that once.
We went to this brewery. We got hammered. Went back to the practice space. Like at the brewery, we're like, yeah, you know what? We should like rearrange the room. I'm not liking the way it sounds. We get back hammered, drunk, rearrange the room, put speakers on different sides, and then like we started playing. Everything just sounded fucking awful. We were playing awful.
Hangover was
it was so bad. It was so
nice. Bad. That's awesome. All right, I got another random question for you guys. Your favorite band needs you to fill in for a summer tour. Who is that band?
Bad Religion.
Nice.
It's funny. I had a dream once that I was playing with Bad Religion, and like in my dream, I was like jumping. I'm like looking over Brian Baker's over there, and I'm like jumping with him and having a blast. And all of a sudden, like my wife wakes me up and she's like, Justin, are you okay? And I'm like, why are you doing that? She's like, she thought I was having like a nightmare, and I was like,
shit.
I was like,
Are you jamming out?
yeah, I was like, oh my god, I was just on stage playing with my favorite band. I was like, yeah.
Were you playing 21st Digital Boy?
No. We were no. I would with them. I would.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Will, who would it be for you?
Well, I have a few favorite bands, but I would probably have to say either Drive By Truckers or Lucero. It would have
Ooh.
Oh,
but if it was like a straight up like punk rock band, I'd love to. I definitely would love to. I'd love to play in Sick of It All.
Nice.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Would be sick. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like the Lucero. Yeah, that's a great answer. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with if the bass player who say broke his hand and needed someone to play for him while he sang, and it's a throwback from when I was 13, 14 years old, I'll just throw MXPX out there.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'm already a huge Music Man fan anyway. I've got a couple, and that's where my sound started. Or yes, if you want to throw out random weird shit from back in the day, that's another.
Yeah. MXPX, I'm 44, was a big influence on me. I loved seeing them when they were like teenagers coming on their first tours to New York.
Yeah. We had this like Christian venue in Franklin, Tennessee, which is kind of like a suburb of Nashville called Rocket Town. Yep. And we went and saw MXPX on the I think it was the Teenage Politics tour. And we drove down from Clarksville to see that show. And I want to say, I think it might have been like 90 Pound Wuss and Value Pack opened up. So it was like a tooth and nail like tour. Yeah, that was fucking great. And MXPX Life in General, to this day, from start to finish, that record hits so fucking hard, man. Yeah. Huge MXPX fan for sure.
I was so excited when they reissued those vinyls. I got that and Slowly Moving the Way of the Buffalo.
Dude, that record too, man. Holy shit. Yeah.
But I'll say this, big Slick Shoes fan.
Oh, same.
Love, I know they used to get wrapped in the same thing, and then those tooth and nail bands are growing. They were great. So many.
For sure. Yeah. I remember it was funny. Is like we went and saw. I think it was either the Supertones or the Insiders. The Insiders were like the version, the Suicide Machines of the Christian ska. And I remember in between songs, it was like the trumpet player, percussion player. He was wanted to evangelize in between songs. And he's like, does everybody know why we're here? And I was like, ska music. And he's like, Jesus. And I was like, damn it.
That's not why I'm here.
I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Well, that's the funny thing about all that stuff. I didn't care at all about.
For sure.
I'd read the lyrics of some of those early MXPX records. I'm like, this is cornball. Why? The songs are so good. Why are you singing about that? And I was like, whatever. I'll compartmentalize that stuff out. And then they ended up going away from it anyway. So it worked out.
Yeah, for sure.
And the funny thing is, we have a song called Not Enough JPMs. And people are like, what's that mean? And I'm like, we were just joking around. Jesus per minute. Not enough Jesus per minute. Because back in the day, and then 90s and early 2000s, when you toured, every show, especially down in the South, is you're always playing with Christian bands. If you're a hardcore band, you're always playing with Christian bands. And I was just like, the song has nothing to do with Christian rock, but we was like, it's kind of about.
Yeah, so Christian rock bands, they have almost a quota of Jesus is per minute.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's early to mid 2000s. The Christian metal and hardcore scene was huge down in Nashville. There's all the face down bands, all the what was the other spin-off, the side label of face down, Strike First Records, I think it was. But yeah, we used to get all those tours at Rocketown, Seven Star,
Yeah.
all them bands.
Yeah, Squad 50. That was another of
Say.
Yeah. Squad 50. They were like the Op Ivy Christian rock band or Christian punk band. They were rad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dug those dudes.
Wasn't Figure 4 a Christian band? Or were they considered a Christian band? Figure 4. Then members went to Comeback Kids.
Oh, okay.
From Canada.
Canada. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah.
You're back, Will.
There's Will. Oh. What about POD, guys? Come on.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was singing that when we were in San Diego. I don't know why. And
What, Southtown?
I don't know why. We were like, we
Welcome
stayed
to
at
Southtown?
Rob from the Hammer Bombs. We stayed at his place. And I don't know why. I was like, we are.
Oh, no.
Southtown.
It's got to be.
But then
Southtown.
Colin goes to me. Colin's like, he's like, they're like from this neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, no way. Like, I didn't even put two and two together.
Big San Diego guys. So it was very random.
That's awesome.
If Neckscars had a mascot, what would it be?
Ooh.
An edible?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be a gummy.
Yeah, a gummy bear.
There you go. That's good.
It's a gummy bear. I fucking love that.
Nice.
We should, what? That could be a tertiary logo at some point.
Yeah.
The Neckscars gummy.
Nice.
There's a band in Canada that they have their mascot is a slice of pizza. And
Wasted
it
Potential?
Huh?
Wasted Potential?
No, they're called XX Fuck. Not XX Fuck, but
That's a sick name.
Great name.
They're on tour with Fuck You Yankee Blue Jeans.
Yeah. XX Smile is what they're called. But they're called XX Smile, and they have like a slice of pizza that is their mascot. It goes up on stages and dances around. I guess it's like their version of the skanking guy for Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Nice.
But, which I didn't realize that the skanking guy all these years was their tour manager.
Yep.
Yeah.
Benson was the manager? Nice.
Yeah.
Does he get paid for dancing on stage and being the tour manager?
Good question.
I would hope so.
And is he considered a member of the band?
He is a member of the band.
So he gets royalties?
Yes,
That's like
100%.
Bo from Avil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%, man. God, that was great seeing them again at Fest a couple of years back.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah,
that was so good.
Yeah,
they were sick.
So do you guys tour down to Richmond a lot, or was that just like a one-off coming back from Fest at one time?
Oh, we did a little bit of a East Coast thing, starting in North Carolina, coming back up. We didn't stop in Richmond.
We do like Virginia Beach more than
Richmond.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Stay closer to I guess 95 goes through Richmond too, so I don't know. We have no excuse.
Yeah, lots of great music that came out of the Richmond area for sure.
Oh yeah,
totes.
Lots of shit. So on August 1st, you guys have a release show?
That's still trying to be figured out. We gotta do something. We don't not sure where or when yet.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just do it at a house show or something. Who knows?
There you go.
I think that might be the route. Just find somebody who's let us tear their place apart.
There's not enough house shows these days.
Yeah, it's true.
Agreed.
There used to be a venue, I say venue, I guess it was, but there used to be this house in Nashville that after like the Rocketown shows, because they had a new Rocketown that moved, and they had a lot of shows there. But all the locals would play that would open up the show, pass out flyers for later on that night, and there would be this basement that they would play in, and it was just like insanely small and packed, and people were just on top of each other. I was like, yeah. Even storage unit shows too.
Yep.
But Eric, you got anything else?
Yeah, yeah. Let's do this rando.
Okay.
All right. So you could Neckscars could either do one of two tours. It could be a complete summer tour, being main support of your favorite band, or it could be, let's say, the 2026 and 2006 Vans Warped Tour. So think about like what bands were on that 06 Warped Tour. Or you could do main support for your favorite band.
Main support.
Main support.
Main support.
And what band would that be? Who would you guys be main support for?
That's gonna be different for all of us, I think.
Well, no. I'm thinking of like what's not too on the nose, but makes a lot of sense.
Bad Religion. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
That's
on
an
the
easy
nose,
answer
so-
for everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
Best band. I don't know. Descendants.
Yeah.
Jawbreaker.
Oh, dude, that would be sick. Yeah.
Are you all into Failure?
Love Failure.
Did you guys see that documentary yet?
I didn't see it yet. I heard about this.
Watched it yet.
It's epic. It's epic. I
Did he talk
enjoyed it.
about Year of the Rabbit?
Yep, he sure did. Yeah.
I love that. That's a 2006 record. That record's so good.
I remember you talking about that, Will, recently.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's,
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ken Andrews.
Yeah, it was really, I really enjoyed it. It's crazy for how long they were around at that short period of time, and then 19 years later they come back, but I got to see them on that 97 Lollapalooza, and where they opened and they opened up the main stage and closed the second stage, which is pretty crazy, but
That's awesome.
yeah. But who would have known that they were going to be breaking up that year, So definitely a good band, man. And their fan base was so huge,
Yeah, and he mixed them. Are you familiar with this band? They're called Sensefield.
Mm-mm.
They're on Revelation. Like definitely one of those like post-hardcore bands from like the 90s, and then they
I know
major
you're talking about. Yeah, because every time I see it, I always think of Senses Fail when I see the name.
Much better band.
No, I know. Yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, but Ken Andrews mixed those last two major label releases they did.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's got quite the discography. Like, I mean, he's mixed Tool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, they toured with Tool back in the day.
That's what they were talking about too. It's like, they toured, like Tool would never take out the same band more than once. And he said they took Failure out 5 different times on different tours. He's like, we were just with them always, I was like, yeah. So
Badass.
Brett, they got, they didn't mention it, but do you remember that the Project Replicants that came out in the 90s? It was members of, I can't remember who, but it was members of Failure, and it was basically like a cover album.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Replicants. It's a green album with a brown box, and all it says is Replicants. It's a pretty chill album. They do some Cars covers in there, which is
Nice.
We talked about that doing a Cars cover, and we could do like the logo, like Neckscars.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
and then Andy from our label, he thinks we should do like a ska like EP and be Neckscars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they say it up in Mass.
Yeah. Which we haven't played Mass yet. That's on our list for the
working
year
on
too.
it.
Yeah.
All right, for the Bad Religion superfan, Brooks or the newest drummer?
Oh, Brooks. Yeah.
Really? I love
Oh,
the
yeah.
newer. I love the newer drummer.
Jamie Miller, he was in what? Trail of the Dead, that band, the long band name. Is that the band?
Oh, you'll know
You
us
will
by
know
the
us by the
Trail.
Trail of Our Dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what he was in. Yeah, no, the new guy's very good. I mean, they've never had a bad drummer.
Yeah. I mean, I think what he brings to the band with his vocals is just like live vocals. I mean, I saw them, it's probably been maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. And I was dumbfounded by his performance and his vocals. And I hit Matt up and I was, from Less Than Jake now. And I was like, holy shit, this new drummer for Bad Religion's fucking amazing. But yeah. So yeah,
they have those decades videos that they're putting on YouTube now. They streamed during the pandemic. That's like one of the only like live streams I paid for. But yeah, he's a bird.
Yeah, for nice.
I remember seeing Brooks back in '92 when he was in a band called Bad for Good, which had the singer of the band was Danny Cooksley, who was the little redheaded guy from Different Strokes, and
no shit.
Shorts. And then he was a dude in T2.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, Budnick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Salute Your Shorts dude.
Salute Your Shorts dude. Yeah. And he was in a band they called Bad for Good, that Steve Vai took under his wings. And the guitar player was this young kid who was like this Fasant dude, but his name was Thomas McRocklin. And
that's a great
they
name.
were like still out there playing. He's still out there jamming, and like he plays like what's that big that M3 or whatever they called it that when they tour around all the guitar players play.
Oh, the G3.
G3. He plays that often and stuff. But it was like a little hair metal band that he was in, and he was on Brooks on drums. And then
shit.
Years later I find out, he starts playing with Suicidal and Infectious Grooves and then Bad Religion and then now Avenged Sevenfold and
I think his
Tenacious D.
His brother Chad Wackerman played with Frank Zappa.
Really?
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
cool. I think there's like 3 Wackermans. There's like a drummer magazine where there's like 3 Wackermans, and it's funny. Their name's Wackerman, and they're all
Zappa. Yeah, it's Frank Zappa. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that's fucking sick.
Yeah,
right on.
Well, gentlemen, this has been pretty cool.
Yeah,
y'all.
Good hang.
Where can everybody find you guys on the internet?
We got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. The other Twitter,
Blue Sky.
OnlyFans?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No,
it's the works.
Yeah, we're gonna be on. We're gonna have on Only Edibles.
Only Edibles, nice.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
You can pre-order the record from Sell the Heart records.com or the Big Cartel. They have a Big Cartel. That's where the pre-order is. So.
Engineer Records if you're in the UK.
Okay. Engineer in the UK.
Now, are you guys the ones who put it out to the UK, or is that the label you're on now does all that work for you? The partnerships.
I made our buddy Craig. Engineer's been around for a long time. They've even put out like early stuff for like Hot Water Music back in the day. And my buddy Craig in New Jersey, he used to handle that label in the US for a minute, and he's very good friends with David. So David, I mentioned, can you send this to him? And he did, and he agreed to put it on. Then we connect them through Andy, and then they kind of developed some sort of partnership. So he's usually most of the time on board for like the UK portion of a Sell the Heart release. And he also he makes books too. So we were featured in one of his books. He has a book company, and it's like they're like 500 pages. It's really interesting. All bands that have been on the label. So we were on the last book he did. But yeah, he's our UK partner. He's been great. David's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Now, will there be a European UK tour?
We're meaning to make it over there one way or another. It has to make sense. I mean, maybe sometime next year.
Gotta happen.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
you know, what's that label? Was it Spam Records over there? They're doing, or Spam Records over there.
Yeah.
They're doing pretty big. They got some.
Yep.
They got a nice little fest that they do over there every year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we connected with one of those guys actually at Fest a couple years ago.
Yeah, they're. I didn't realize, you know, there's a lot of bands that are on that label there. They just released some Motorhead stuff, surprisingly.
Huh.
Really interesting.
Yeah, like some blood splatter and some beer. Like when you turn this, like, it looks like there's beer
Nice.
inside, like the liquid vinyl. You know,
Nice.
They got some
Awesome.
beer
I
in
saw
there.
some of those.
Yeah, it's probably just like it's easier for the bands to get their shit pressed over there off of
Yeah.
that label. That way they don't have to travel or ship over, you know.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
for sure. For sure.
All right, gentlemen. Well, we enjoyed your time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thanks
yeah,
for having us
yeah.
on.
I tell Pete from Protagonist that you guys are stand-up dudes. Yeah.
I
told
talk
him
to Pete every day. He's the best.
Yeah. We're friends. You know, we've known each other since paper and plastic days, and we
Oh yeah.
keep up with each other via the old Instagram. So
Nice.
Rad.
Cool,
Well, hopefully, we see you guys in real life soon.
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, see it fest.
All right. Or at the end of the month, depending.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Niagara Falls. Yeah. I'll hit you guys up on the old Instagram.
Sounds
Who's
good.
bringing the edibles?
All of us.
Yeah.
Nice.
Later.
Canada
All
had
right.
Later.
incredible.
Cheers.
Have a good one. Later.